about the internet and how the web works. Google really only keeps the current copy of things. So if something gets deleted or changed or put behind a paywall that used to not be, then even Google can't find it. Because I don't think Google keeps a history of every single page over all time, even though it'd be nice if you did that, Google. And I guess it's not profitable, but I think it is for Street View. You do it. So, and I'm sure it's in there somewhere in the archive. Certain pages are very important. In certain sites, you think the New York Times is very important, so you might want to keep all the changes. Now, here is a little known secret in the Bloomberg site. Bloomberg seems to have moved everything behind paywalls. And even Google doesn't index all of all of Bloomberg. So I know of an article that existed, and I tried to find it. And let's just go to the site. Well, here it is. Here's the article. And what's happened is it appears that... Here, let me zoom in too, because that'll make it easier for people. Let's see if Wayback Machine can handle zoom in. And it seems as if Bloomberg has tried amateur attempts at creating paywalls. Now, I can explain if anybody puts in the comment, or wait till the end to hear the secret. If you go here, this is what they've done recently. They want everyone to subscribe to things they used to publish. I guess they want the attention. They don't have ads, which probably will be next. There'll be ads all over the place. But this is Don't Price Us Out. New Yorkers plead amid property tax overhaul. And this person just does not respond. At some point she responds, then she doesn't. And it's obvious they do Freedom of Information Act requests so that they can get basically free stories. Because if you go to these general public people, they don't ask for money to tell their story. They're happy to tell their story. So this is what's happened. And it used to be that you could just take this title, put it probably in Google, go in incognito. They used to do it all client-side. And if anyone doesn't know what client-side, put a question in there and we can explain it. Client is the browser itself. So they send all the information over the internet. They give it to you, and then they hide it in your browser. Well, programmers know how, in a lot of people in extensions, and can get around that because you're not protecting yourself. It'd be like giving all the information, the bank, you send all the funds, and then you say, oh, well, you can't touch them. Well, they're already in my house. They're mine, right? So that's what they did. Now, somewhere in Bloomberg, they must have got smart, or somewhat smart. They think they're smart. And now they're doing it on the server side. If anybody wants to see what that means, post a question. I'll explain it. But it's all in DevTools. But that's not the point of this video. So what you want to do is find an article. Basically, you just need the URL, and the Wayback Machine is kind of cool. You take that URL and you put it into the Wayback Machine. Well, the Wayback Machine requires JavaScript in order to run. So you have to have it running, but you'll see what happens. Let's just see. Let's pick. There seems to be 3 snapshots. Let's take the latest one. We looked at them. There's no difference. It's not clear to me how Wayback Machine decides to change to recrawl, but you're going to see what happens here. First of all, it's very slow. Wayback Machine, wake up. And there it is. And it's zoomed in a lot. It's trying to show us, you can read it for a bit in the Wayback Machine, right? Politically, here it is. You could actually just save it. Whatever you do, it has to be fair, predictable, and politically. Albanese, I wonder if he's still in it. Look at that. It just disappeared. Look at this. Sorry, that page doesn't exist. Well, these are just JavaScript bugs or on purpose. It may be on purpose because they want you to pay for these articles. Well, this one is just silly. And I'm sure you can have a Chrome extension that will turn off JavaScript. But if you want to understand what's actually happening, you can turn off JavaScript yourself, right? So you can just go here, and you can go here to JavaScript settings. This looks like gobbledygook, but it's actually true. You can just go to this Chrome settings, content, JavaScript, and I've already put it in here, but I had to edit it because the web archive needs JavaScript to run, but I don't want it when it's refreshing the page. So I go here, and now let's refresh this page. Now what's happened is the JavaScript part is turned off. So they can't do anything to this. This is actually being loaded from the server, from the web archive, and of course it is the article. The web archive archives, I guess, billions of pages, and they try to keep the history, unlike Google, which only wants the current one because probably that's the only thing that's marketable. And here you go. And this is the article. And thank goodness I was able to find it because they quote actually me in here. It's an embarrassment to read this. Oh yeah, see, they left it in here. I'm surprised they've left it in here. How in the world can you give a phase-in and not give real examples? I didn't identify myself because it doesn't really matter what affiliation. Everything's about affiliation and neighborhoods. Well, what does it matter? We're all people, right? But I'm being silly, I guess. The real world cares about reputation and, yeah, because they want to oversimplify things. Because not everybody is equal. Some are more equal than others. Because nobody understands what you mean by phase-in over 5 years. No one understands it that I know of. Is there an example in all of the documents? Yeah, I guess I shouldn't have said no one because probably someone does, but no one that I know of. And is there an example? There was no example. And this is really, really sad that these types of articles now are behind a paywall. Why? Who knows? It's all about money. Welcome to capitalism. Anyway, that's the way to get around this paywall. Now you have to use the web archive and turning off JavaScript and probably the newer articles. This is only working for the past when the articles were free, quote unquote free, and won't work for the new ones if they're behind a paywall from the beginning. Now, it is kind of silly to have articles that are free and then put them behind a paywall. I think Web Archive and all these other archive tools make that silly, really silly. But it appears that the people that run these paywalls don't really understand how the internet works, but they do know the majority of people don't understand how the internet works and will pay through the nose or through the teeth or whatever it is for anything they say. Because, one thing I always say is it's easier to buy and much harder to sell, right? And so the people that sell, they've made the system such that you're not cool unless you're buying. But of course, you try to sell to whoever, Jeff Bezos, or you'll see how tough they are. You say, I don't want that. That's garbage. First of all, if you can even speak to them, you'll never be able to speak to them. You'd probably be taken away in handcuffs before you can get near them. But the point is, be an entrepreneur. Learn. In this capitalist system, you have to learn how to sell. You have to learn marketing, even though you're told car salesmen are the lowest of the low. The truth is that it is important to learn how to sell. And actually, an honest sell person or an honest person, I'd rather deal with an honest person that has good advice than someone who knows nothing and just buys. All right. And I hope that helped you. And if you want to bypass the Bloomberg paywall, just contact me or write in the comments. And I realize the internet's a scary place. Watch the video about Web3 and the scariness. It is a scary place. Scammers are everywhere. There's actual scammers in the forums trying to scam you with help. That's pretty nasty. Peace out.